Good morning. Thank you for joining in today to continue our mission to seek mercy and justice for a broken world. Just one housekeeping task. If you would please mute yourself to avoid any feedback. Thank you. Our three-part road map to engage in issues for social justice are educate, advocate, and participate. The last few sessions, we have focused on education, the history, issues and policies of racial inequality. Today, our focus is on advocacy and participation. Before the reading of A is for activist, I would like to present three definitions that are different, but have very complementary roles in the work for social justice. The first is activist. An activist is an influential individual who takes a direct action to bring about social or political change. Think of Rosa Parks or Gandhi or our author of the book today. An advocate, the definition that resonated with me was in an article of Raising World Children by Courtney Harris. And she wrote, advocate means using my resources, voice, physical presence, energy, and/or time to honor, support, and partner with people, institutions, and policies that align with my values and vision for a world of equity and justice. This is the role that Ascension has taken ever since I have been a member. Our congregation has supported A Just Harvest, Refugee One, the Night Ministry, LSSI, Holy Family School, just to name a few. The third definition is ally or allyship. These have a newer, less familiar meaning and often occur in social justice writings. An ally is one who is not a member of a marginalized or disenfranchised group, but who expresses and gives support to that group. Allyship is a recurrent process of building relationships based on trust, consistency, and accountability. An ally in this context is not self-defined. One's work and efforts must be acknowledged by those you are seeking to ally with. The video, A is for Activist, is a children's board book that illustrates social justice issues and ways to be an advocate or an activist. The author, Inosanto Negara, was born and raised in Jakarta, Indonesia, and moved to the United States in 1988 to study zoology at UC Davis. Instead of becoming a zoologist, he became an activist and a graphic designer. He writes and illustrates social justice-themed children's books. Originally, A is for Activist was just a personal project for his own child, the book that he wanted to read over and over again. But friends encouraged him to print more copies, and A is for Activist became a self-published board book. When it almost immediately sold out, it was picked up by Seven Stories Press. With their help, A is for Activist has become a national bestseller. The reader today is Tom Morello. Born in 1964, he is an American musician, singer, songwriter, actor, and political activist. He is best known for his tenure with the rock band Rage Against the Machine. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Tom Morello here at Veritas Studios. I am reading my first ever books on tape for a fine book called A is for Activist. This is a book that I have in my personal collection, and I read to my 3-year-old and 5-year-old when they will allow it. And now I'll begin reading it for the world.
A. A is for activist, advocate, abolitionist, ally, actively answering a call to action. Are you an activist? B. B is for banner, bobbing in the sky, billowing in the breeze, 'cause you're not shy. C. C is for co-op, cooperating cultures, creative counter to corporate vultures. Oh, and cats. Can you find the cats? D. Little d, democracy. More than voting, you'll agree. Dictators detest it. Donkeys don't get it. But you and me, we demand equality. E. Equal rights. Black, brown, or white. Clean and healthy is a right. Every place we live and play. Environmental justice is the way. F. F is for feminist, for fairness in our pay, for freedom to flourish and choose our own way. G. G is for grassroots, sprouting from below, sharing nutrients and the water's flow. Below the surface, we're all connected. Stronger together, we grow. H. H is for healthy food, a human right, honeydew, jicama, nature's delight. Hummus, hot dogs, Havarti cheese. Hot dogs? Yes, healthy hot dogs, please. And pizza. I. Indigenous and immigrant. Together we stand tall. Our histories are relevant. An injury to one is an injury to all. J. J is for justice. Yay for justice. Ja Jing Jung. Juanita. Jamal. Justice for the janitors. Justicia for all. K. Kings are fine for story time. Knights are fun to play. But when we make decisions, we will choose the people's way. L. LGBTQ. Love who you choose, 'cause love is true. Liberate your notions of limited emotions. Celebrate with pride our links of devotion. M. Megaphones marching. Movimiento music. Hip hip hooray! It must be May Day. N. N is for no. No, no, no. Yes to what we want. No to what must go. No, no, no. O. Open minds operate best. Critical thinking over tests. Wisdom can't be memorized. Educate, agitate, organize. P. Peace march. Protest. Pow, power to the people. Yeah. Q is for question. Questioning coercion. Querying qualities counter false assertions. R. Radical Reds, the headline said. Ruinous rioters, the rumors spread. Rabble-rousing riffraff. Really? S. S is for sun, soul, solar, superstar, stellar power, fuels all life, not just flowers. Energized homes, cars, and showers. Silly, selfish scoundrels sucking on dinosaur sludge? Boo. Hiss. T. T is for trans. For trains, tiaras, tulips, tractors, and tigers too. Trust in the true, the he, she, they that is you. You. U is for weekends. U is for workers' rights. Wait, that's not you. That's W. U is for union. Union, yes. V. V is for Vox. What? Did you say Fox? No, I said Vox. Did you say box? No, Vox. Rocks? Blocks? Socks? Vox. Vox of the people. Voice of the populi. Better go see the letter D. W. Wondrous world. Wondrous we. We cannot be whole. We cannot be free unless we delight in diversity. X. X is for Malcolm, as in Malcolm X. History's lessons can be complex. Remember Parks, remember King, remember Malcolm, and let freedom ring. Y. Y is for you and youth. Your planet, your rights, your future, your truth. Y is for yes. Yes, yes, yes. Z. Z is for Zapatista, of course.
The issues of injustice, inequality, and oppression are many, and there are a variety of ways to advocate as a congregation and as an individual. Until about 2 years ago, the only avenue for advocacy that I knew was to write to my Congress. Through the process of exploring social justice issues, I became aware of an expanded list of means and methods for advocacy. As we go through a list of actions to be taken, identify those that resonate with you. What are the causes you are passionate about? And how might you advocate for that cause? Also think of ways Ascension has been an advocate in the past and envision new ways we might add to our toolbox for advocacy. First and foremost is prayer. That is intentional prayer for an individual, a group, a social justice issue, or a policy. Educate yourself about social justice issues that are of interest to you. One can have greater understanding of an issue's current status by learning its history. Read fiction and nonfiction. Research on the internet or at your local library. YouTube, webinars, library programs are all good resources to learn more about a social issue. Listen. Listen without judgment to the stories, experiences, and desires of the group or organization you advocate for and support. Donate, fundraise, volunteer, find opportunities that align with your interests. Banners and lawn signs. Social media platforms are resourceful ways to focus on important causes. Connect and invest in the local community. Glenview and Northbrook right now are in discussions about affordable housing, and we have our food pantries. Invest in education, Holy Family School, and the Illinois Tax Credit Scholarship Program. Become involved through civic engagement. Vote. Connect with your local community and nonprofit organizations. Find out which advocacy groups have local chapters. Develop a relationship with local elected officials. Attend town hall meetings and school board meetings. School boards make many decisions that impact the community. Run for a local elected office. Get to know your state and federal congressional leaders and get them to know you. Know their stances on issues and policies that further the causes you care about. Some of our congressmen hold regular town hall meetings. Support artists, writers, activists, and advocates who speak out against injustice. Show up, stand up, and when appropriate, speak up. Be present in solidarity. Attend peaceful demonstrations, protests, and rallies. I end with our mission statement. Compelled by God's love for all creation, we seek mercy and justice for a broken world. We are called to love our neighbor. The King Center ran an ad just before Valentine's Day, advertising their Be Love campaign, a movement of courageous love to achieve justice. It reads, "You are a human being, but a human being what? You can be a voice for the voiceless. You can be united against divisiveness. You can choose to be love and implement the demands of justice. Let's change the conversation around love, turning it from passive kindness to urgent advocacy. Together, we can be love and use our power to correct everything that stands against love." Thank you for your presence and your attention. And now to our beloved Pastor Post.
Thank you, Susan, for that. That's a wonderful book. Someone gifted our grandson A is for Activist when he was a brand new baby. And of course, he didn't quite appreciate being read to anything at all, but I enjoyed it a lot. And today, again, to be reminded about the difference among those three words, Susan: advocate, activist, and ally. That ally is a name we don't choose, but ally is a gift, a name given to us by trusted partners. For the last several years, during both Advent and Lent, we have taken on special projects, advocacy projects, if you will, with ministry partners whom we cherish, ministry partners who have taught us an enormous amount about the world in which we live and also about ourselves. This Lent, we have chosen to do our Lent challenge with Holy Family School. We've been advocates and friends of Holy Family School since it was born in 1985. And some of the people on this call were at the very ground level of getting that school started in a church, then in a small building, and moving it now to the beautiful school building in which they live and work every day. Though we've been related to Holy Family since 1985 in various ways, in the last 5 years, our relationship has intensified. We've engaged them and all of our ministry partners differently than we did before, asking and listening, learning and letting them teach us, saying not, here's what we would like to do for you, or here's what we think you need, but say, teach us, tell us, show us how to be your advocates. In the last 5 years, our engagement with Holy Family has been intense. We have been there, they have been here. We've purchased countless school uniforms and school supplies and sanitation supplies, gift cards for families that needed to supplement their food supplies at home, and also direct financial support. Their advancement director told me this week that in the last 5 years, Ascension has given $80,000 of direct financial support to their ministry. That is astonishing. That is advocacy. Because of that deep and long-lasting relationship, Ascension is being invited into a very special opportunity with Holy Family School this year. A little background. As you may know, Holy Family School provides high-quality, faith-informed education and community life in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago, all the while remaining competitive with schools like the schools around us in terms of test scores and placement rates. The pandemic has created a new educational urgency for Holy Family School and for all schools. not only those that are in dangerous places in the city. I've had lots of conversations in the last couple of weeks with CEO Cheryl Collins, with their advancement director, and other people on the staff at Holy Family School in anticipation of our Lent Challenge, which is still being refined, to tell you the truth. And the thing that blew me away and that encouraged me, convinced me about the need to take on the challenge I'm about to describe to you is something called the trauma pyramid. I am not a professional educator, but those of you who are may recognize this language. We'll send you a picture later. In a typical trauma pyramid for grade school children across the country, this is not about Holy Family School, but for all grade schools across the country. In a typical time in the trauma pyramid, 80% of the students are on that broad base, students who are at no risk, facing really no trauma to speak of. The middle bar is 15% of students who are at some risk of hunger, risk of violence, risk of displacement, 15%. And 5%, the top of that pyramid, are students who are in grave danger on any one of those fronts. That's a typical trauma pyramid in an ordinary time. What has happened, we believe, because of the pandemic, is that trauma pyramid has been completely inverted. This is hard for me to believe. It's not that I don't trust Holy Family School. It's just this is an astonishing way to look at things. Across the country, in grade schools, not only in Chicago, the tip that 5% of students in grade school across the country face no trauma or risk. 5%. 15%, that middle band, face some risk. But 80% of students, that wider band in the inverted pyramid, 80% of our grade school students across the country face grave risk and trauma every day. That diagram, that image, has just troubled me and tortured me. And it is why I'm now encouraging, and our council is encouraging us to take on a brand new Lent challenge with Holy Family School. Holy Family School has long been a trauma-informed school. I'd never heard that word before, but Vicar Phil, who in a previous life was a grade school teacher, taught in a trauma-informed school, and he can tell you more about that someday if you'd like to know more. To be trauma-informed means you're aware that students bring the world into the classroom every day, and the teachers and staff need to be attuned to the issues that might come with the students, to be aware that trauma exists among some of their students. The school now seeks to be certified trauma responsive. It's a brand new accreditation that schools are seeking. That is, Holy Family School is seeking to enter a 2-year intensive training program of trauma responsiveness training to help them not only identify students in crisis, but identify resources to protect them, to encourage them, and if possible, to resolve the crisis. For example, here's an example the advancement director shared with me. Imagine in any school, not just Holy Family School, that a child abruptly leaps up from their desk, throws the desk across the room, runs into the hall sobbing, and hides in a corner. If you are an educator, you have seen this happen. What was the trigger? What caused a child to respond in that way? Frustration with the math test they were taking? The fact that they hadn't eaten that day? Or perhaps that there was terrible trouble at home? And once that trigger is identified, teachers need to be taught to know how to respond. Trauma responsiveness training uses a social emotional learning curriculum that will equip teachers to respond more readily and appropriately to trauma, to equip children with words for speaking the trauma that they face. The training also will keep Holy Family School competitive with other schools, especially schools in the suburbs, and raise up a generation of students who have learned to face difficulty, who will then teach others to face difficulty as well. For the last several years, we've been offering challenges in both Advent and Lent, opportunities to go deeper with our ministry partners. And this Lent, Holy Family offers us the opportunity to support this new curriculum, a 2-year investment of $40,000 for their school, their staff, and their students. Don't jump out of your chair. $40,000 is a lot of money. We are not the only congregation that's being invited into this new challenge, but we are the first. Holy Family has come to us first because of the deep relationship of trust and advocacy that we share with them. Others will follow. Soon you will be receiving more information about our Lent challenge, but we wanted to pique your interest today with new words like advocacy, activist, ally, new words like trauma-informed, trauma-responsive, trauma pyramid, words that might, as they were for me, be new to you. In addition to the financial challenge we will propose, we're also hoping to create pen pals with the 4th grade students. We're still working on that. As you can imagine, if you are involved in education of any kind, you know that classroom teachers are up to here with things to do, and we don't want to make work for Holy Family School. So we are working with them slowly to create a relationship with some of their 4th graders, if possible. We'll let you know. We are advocates. What an honor it would be if one day Holy Family would name us ally. These are powerful words. These are powerful times. And we have been invited to live in this challenging time with one of our favorite partners, Holy Family School. Thank you for this time together, Susan. Thank you for always being thoughtful and challenging for us. We're going to close this Vitality Talk special edition now. It's being recorded. It will be sent out in your inbox later this afternoon, and we will keep up the conversation. So, blessed Lent. We'll see you soon.